Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. Whispers around the NFL universe have been growing louder by the hour, as the shocking news of Patrick Surtain II reportedly signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers has begun to dominate sports chatter across every major platform and forum. Fans, analysts, and insiders alike are scrambling to piece together the implications of such a monumental acquisition, debating endlessly about how this single move could reshape the entire landscape of the Steelers' defense. Known for his uncanny ability to read quarterbacks, anticipate plays, and execute tackles with surgical precision, Surtain's potential addition seems to signal a level of commitment from the Steelers that could elevate their secondary to what many are already calling elite status. While the details of the contract remain shrouded in speculation, industry sources suggest that the terms are designed not only to attract one of the league's most promising young talents, but also to send a message to both fans and competitors that Pittsburgh is serious about reclaiming dominance in the AFC. Social media platforms are buzzing with GIFs, highlight reels, and discussions comparing Surtain to other cornerbacks in history, sparking debates that stretch from casual fans to seasoned analysts. Meanwhile, inside the Steelers' locker room, insiders hint that players are reacting with a mix of excitement and disbelief, sensing that the defensive backfield might be entering a new era. The intrigue doesn't stop there. Every move, every comment, and every rumor about future signings is being dissected, as if the NFL world is collectively holding its breath for what comes next. Across countless podcasts, Twitter threads, and YouTube channels, the chatter has reached fever pitch as experts dissect what Surtain's presence means for Pittsburgh's defensive schemes. Analysts argue that his speed, agility, and instinctual understanding of offensive patterns could plug critical gaps that the Steelers have struggled with over recent seasons, especially against high-powered passing offenses. Comparisons are flying fast, with some calling him the heir apparent to some of the league's all-time great cornerbacks, citing his uncanny ability to shadow elite wide receivers and force turnovers at crucial moments. Rumors suggest that team strategists have already begun tailoring defensive playbooks around his unique skill set, highlighting the anticipation and planning that often precedes such a game-changing acquisition. Conversations among former players and insiders suggest that Surtain's impact could extend beyond the field, influencing team morale, culture, and the overall defensive mindset. Social media polls reveal a polarizing mix of reactions, with some fans skeptical about whether one player alone can transform a struggling secondary, while the majority seem convinced that Pittsburgh has finally landed the cornerstone piece they've been craving. Meanwhile, betting markets are reportedly adjusting their odds on Steelers' defensive performance for the coming season, reflecting the tangible anticipation and perceived value of this signing. Every news snippet, from training camp rumors to locker room reactions, is being amplified, creating a crescendo of speculation that could dominate headlines well into the offseason. Speculation about Surtain's decision-making process has also captivated fans, with insiders suggesting that multiple franchises were aggressively courting him before he allegedly settled on Pittsburgh. Stories circulating in sports circles hint at late-night negotiations, personal calls from coaches, and even the involvement of family advisors who weighed long-term career trajectory against immediate team fit. The narrative that has emerged paints Surtain as both strategic and passionate, someone willing to embrace the challenge of transforming a defense rather than simply chasing monetary gains or high-profile markets. Analysts argue that this mindset alone could reshape not only the Steelers' secondary, but also their reputation as a team that develops young talent into stars. Conversations online are saturated with what-if scenarios, debating how the team might restructure their defensive rotations, adjust coverage schemes, and even rethink their draft strategies in the wake of this rumored signing. Fans are dissecting game tape, looking for patterns that Surtain could exploit or enhance, imagining highlight reels where his interceptions and pass breakups swing games in Pittsburgh's favor. Meanwhile, NFL forums have become battlegrounds of opinion, with each new rumor or leak feeding endless debates and passionate takes about the future of the Steelers' defense. Coaches' past statements and cryptic social media posts are being reinterpreted through the lens of Sutton's arrival, as if every minor clue could confirm or refute the transformative potential of this move. Inside the Steelers organization, whispers indicate that the coaching staff is quietly ecstatic, seeing Sutton as a linchpin around which they can rebuild the defensive identity. The secondary, often criticized for inconsistency and vulnerability against elite quarterbacks, is now being described in hushed tones as reimagined or reborn, with sources hinting at tailored drills, coverage strategies, and even mentoring programs designed to maximize Sutton's impact. Analysts speculate that pairing him with other rising defensive backs could create one of the most formidable pass defenses in the league, forcing opposing offenses to rethink their approach entirely. This level of speculation has ignited renewed excitement among Steelers fans, who are flooding social media with visions of dominant seasons, playoff runs, and defensive accolades. Meanwhile, rival teams are reportedly evaluating their own rosters in reaction, suggesting that the ripple effects of this rumored signing could extend far beyond Pittsburgh. The strategic implications are profound. Defensive coordinators are already theorizing about new zone schemes, man-to-man coverage adjustments, and hybrid packages that could leverage Sutton's versatility. Conversations within sports media indicate that this story is not just about a single player, but about a philosophical shift in how Pittsburgh intends to approach defense, signaling ambition, innovation, and a hunger for supremacy that could reverberate across the NFL landscape. Rumors also hint at the cultural impact Sutton could have within the Steelers' locker room, with sources suggesting he brings a leadership style that blends quiet confidence with relentless competitiveness. Teammates reportedly admire his work ethic, film study habits, and ability to perform under pressure, qualities that could elevate both younger and more experienced players alike. Analysts speculate that his presence could foster a culture of accountability and excellence, transforming the way defensive players approach preparation, practice, and game day execution. Meanwhile, social media has exploded with speculative graphics, fan edits, and highlight compilations imagining Sutton in black and gold, feeding the narrative of a reborn secondary ready to dominate opponents. Forums are alive with debate about who might benefit most from his addition, which cornerbacks could take on mentorship roles, and whether the defensive scheme might shift to accommodate his unique talents. Even casual observers are intrigued, fascinated by the possibility that a single signing could serve as a catalyst for systemic change. Meanwhile, the broader NFL community is keeping a close eye on the situation, analyzing each minor movement and media snippet for hints about how this rumored acquisition might play out in practice, preseason games, and ultimately in high-stakes matchups against elite offensive units. As the frenzy continues, some insiders caution that while the potential is enormous, the execution of integrating Sutton into the Steelers' defensive system is critical. They point to historical examples where even the most talented acquisitions fail to deliver due to scheme misalignment, coaching changes, or off-field distractions, emphasizing that hype must eventually meet tangible performance. Yet, optimism remains high, fueled by confidence in both Sutton's skill set and the organization's vision. Analysts argue that if executed properly, the transformation could be immediate, positioning the Steelers as a defensive powerhouse capable of challenging for top-tier standings and playoff dominance. Meanwhile, social media sentiment oscillates between euphoric excitement and cautious skepticism, with memes, polls, and analytical breakdowns all contributing to the growing narrative. Fans are eagerly awaiting official confirmations, press conferences, and glimpses of Sutton in team gear, each moment feeding the cycle of rumor, speculation, and anticipation. In essence, the NFL landscape is on edge, with Pittsburgh at the center of a storm that could redefine defensive expectations, force rivals to reconsider strategies, and place Patrick Sutton, too, at the heart of one of the most intriguing stories of the offseason. Rumors, speculation, and analysis swirl together, creating a perfect storm of excitement, uncertainty, and anticipation that shows no signs of slowing down as the season approaches. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The buzz surrounding Patrick Surtain's rumored arrival in Pittsburgh has escalated to levels that few off-season stories ever reach, as fans and pundits alike continue to dissect every possible angle of the deal. Speculation now extends beyond immediate defensive performance, with analysts suggesting that his presence could fundamentally alter the Steelers' drafting philosophy, free agency strategies, and even how they allocate resources to defensive coaching staff. Conversations in sports podcasts frequently revolve around hypothetical scenarios where Surtain's coverage skills allow younger corners to flourish under less pressure, creating a cascading effect that strengthens the entire backfield. Social media is flooded with discussions about potential defensive pairings, coverage rotations, and matchup advantages against top-tier wide receivers, each post fueling further rumor mills. Some insiders hint that Surtain's influence could extend off the field, inspiring a more disciplined and focused locker room culture that emphasizes preparation, accountability, and strategic thinking. While skeptics question whether one player can truly transform a historically inconsistent secondary, the overwhelming sentiment seems to favor the idea that the Steelers have secured a generational talent capable of redefining their identity. Every minor leak, every cryptic social media post, and every expert opinion is analyzed, debated, and amplified, creating a narrative frenzy that positions Pittsburgh as the epicenter of defensive innovation in the NFL. The atmosphere is electric, as fans and media alike anticipate the potential seismic shift in the league's defensive hierarchy. The storyline has gained momentum as insiders share unverified but tantalizing details about how the Steelers intend to integrate Surtain into their schemes, prompting a wave of tactical speculation. Analysts debate whether Pittsburgh will deploy him primarily in man-to-man coverage, leverage his skills in zone schemes, or experiment with hybrid approaches that maximize his ability to anticipate plays and disrupt passing lanes. Some reports suggest the coaching staff is even designing specialized drills to exploit Surtain's agility, speed, and ball-hawking instincts, with the goal of creating a defensive unit that is as unpredictable as it is dominant. Fans have responded with animated discussions, mock-up graphics, and highlight reel mashups, imagining his potential interceptions, deflections, and game-changing plays. Rival teams are reportedly reviewing their offensive strategies in response, realizing that a Surtain-led secondary could force quarterbacks to adjust their timing, target selections, and risk calculations. Meanwhile, debates about which current Steelers players will synergize best with him continue to rage across forums, podcasts, and social media threads. The narrative suggests that Surtain is not just another acquisition, but a transformative force, capable of reshaping both individual performances and the collective identity of Pittsburgh's defense. Each new rumor adds layers to the story, with speculation running wild about positional rotations, leadership dynamics, and potential ripple effects that extend far beyond one season. The NFL community is watching closely, fully aware that this could be the beginning of a seismic defensive revolution. Reports from insiders indicate that Surtain's rumored decision to join the Steelers was influenced by both professional opportunity and organizational culture, raising questions about how leadership dynamics within the team may have played a role. Speculation suggests that veteran players may have reached out personally, welcoming him and emphasizing the chance to be part of a defensively dominant legacy. Analysts argue that the perceived harmony between coaching philosophy and Surtain's approach to the game was likely a decisive factor, underscoring the importance of organizational fit in modern player acquisition strategies. Meanwhile, fans have flooded online platforms with theories about how Surtain's mindset could elevate the overall intensity of practice sessions, film study habits, and situational awareness, potentially creating a cascading improvement across the entire defensive roster. Social media graphics depict him in the Steelers' colors, paired with other top defensive talents, feeding the narrative of a secondary suddenly transformed from average to elite. Observers highlight how his leadership style, work ethic, and competitive instincts could impact not only rookies, but also seasoned players seeking to reclaim dominance. Rumors also speculate that SUTTON's influence could prompt strategic innovations, such as rotational adjustments and specialized coverage packages, that force opponents to rethink passing strategies. The narrative surrounding Pittsburgh is no longer solely about wins or losses. It has evolved into a discussion about culture, identity, and the potential to redefine defensive standards across the league. Fans, analysts, and insiders are collectively caught in a whirlwind of anticipation as each new report fuels excitement, debate, and endless speculation about the coming season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.